Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. We are here today to do a reading for the month of November for the sign of Taurus. Today I'm using two decks, the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti, as well as the Archangel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. So let's go ahead and get started then with your reading for November. Calling on my guides, teachers, spiritual helpers, and all that loves and surrounds the sign of Taurus, asking for divine guidance, clarity, and wisdom as we look at the energies for the sign of Taurus for the month of November. Giving thanks in advance to all that is for this perfect guidance, perfect clarity, and perfect wisdom. God grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Again, looking at the energy for the sign of Taurus for the month of November. Giving thanks to the light that is always surrounding us and enveloping us as we look at the energy for November 2017. All right, Taurus, that feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at your cards for the month of November. And I am doing a 7-card spread here. So let's take a look. And I'll explain a little more about the cards in this particular spread as we move through the spread here. Now, at the bottom of the deck, you do have the Two of Swords coming in as your overall energy for the month of November. This Two of Swords is all about needing to make a decision and not having everything that you need to make a good, solid decision. Perhaps there are some missing pieces. Perhaps there are details that have yet to gel for you to know exactly what decision that you need to make. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the rest of your cards for the month of November and see if we can shed some light on this upcoming decision or this impending decision. Let's go ahead and start with your past card here. You do have the Lovers coming in as your past card. And I just love seeing this as a past energy for the sign of Taurus. This Lovers card is a major arcana, and it signifies, it could actually mean that you've recently either gotten engaged or, have found a new lover. It could be related absolutely to your relationship status. This Lover's card could also indicate that you've been working with a project or a situation, a circumstance, something that you've really enjoyed doing and that you've really put a lot of your heart and soul into accomplishing. So one of those two categories is going to more than likely fit for Taurus. Okay, and at your current position here, we do have the Emperor coming up in the reverse. This Emperor is all about being in control and power and really being able to express that power in a very effective and dynamic way in the world. Now, this is coming up in the reverse for the sign of Taurus as a current position. It doesn't necessarily mean that like you don't have any power or that you're not in control of anything. It just means that there could be a potential there for you to feel like you don't have control over what's happening in your life, as much control as you'd like to have. Of course, there's always some control involved, but perhaps there's this need to dictate how something is going to manifest in your life. And so this is again coming up as a current energy for you. So more than likely you'll know exactly why this emperor, or what area of your life the emperor in the reverse is referring to. All right, so let's go ahead now and take a look at your future energy. And we have the Queen of Cups coming in the reverse. This Queen of Cups is all about, she's very focused and very emotionally mature, is what I want to say about this Queen of Cups. And when I see her in the reverse here, there's this, and I'm drawn back to your Emperor coming up in the reverse in your current position, right? So if there's this feeling that you're not able to control your circumstances or how things are manifesting, that could most certainly lead to a feeling or a sense, an imbalance in your emotional state. So this is something that you'll want to be mindful of in the month of November, this potential for your emotions to be slightly, less than balanced, is what I want to say. Take note of the clouds behind this particular queen. Again, I stated that she is a master of the emotion in the emotional realm. So when there are these clouds that are surrounding her, or perhaps even you, there's this ability here to remain focused, to remain centered, and to remain in a very emotionally mature position. All right. So at the how you're seeing the world here, what your viewpoint is, how your what your perspective is there on the world. We have the Seven of Swords coming up in the reverse, I do believe. Yes. Actually, I believe that was in the upright for the Seven of Swords here. So this Seven of Swords is all about needing to reevaluate what's happening. The Seven of Swords has also been known as the Theft card. So maybe perhaps feeling like something has been taken away from you, and I'm really feeling the need to reevaluate that situation, to take a look at that particular situation with a fresh set of eyes, if you will, or if that's possible for you to again look at that situation with a new perspective. And again, really feeling that there's a sense that something that you felt that you deserved has not been made available to you, or at least not in the way that you'd hope that it would be. All right, so next up we have another queen coming in your external position here. The Queen of Swords also coming up. Actually, she's coming up upright. Your other queen came in the reverse, but this queen is coming up in the upright here. This Queen of Swords, we talked about the Queen of Cups being a master of emotions. Well, this Queen of Swords is a master of her thoughts. She's able to bring those negative thoughts into a very clear perspective. Note the light that's on her head here. And again, this queen is also surrounded by a cloudy, murky sky, it looks like. But in the midst of that cloud, of those clouds, she's still shining a very bright, a very clear light on her thought pattern. So here, as an external influence, there is the opportunity for Taurus to actually operate with this very clear mind, and to monitor and to allow your thoughts to not allow your thoughts, I'm sorry, not allow your thoughts to become so overwhelmed by what you're going through or what you're enduring. In other words, the advice here is not to allow any negative thoughts to overcome you. You know, thoughts are not who we are. We are the masters of our thoughts, but we don't exercise that authority very much. Very often, we allow thoughts to simply run their course and to do whatever damage they're going to do. And in many cases, we add to that damage by believing those thoughts. So the reminder here is simply to be aware of how you're thinking and how your thoughts are impacting the actions that you're taking. All right. So in the internal influence, we do have the Hangman coming up in the reverse here. So here, and I had another sign get the Hangman in the reverse in the exact same position. I want to say it was either Pisces or someone like that. And also, if you want more clarity, you're always welcome to go out and look at your rising sign or your moon sign. So here we have this Hanging Man coming up in the reverse as an internal influence for you. And I'm feeling the exact same thing that I felt when I received this card for another sign. So if you do happen to look at the video that I'm referring to and say it's your rising sign or something, this is really prevalent for you. Specifically, the need to be flexible, the need to be adaptable, the need to be like a chameleon to fit in whatever situation that you find yourself in. Of course, not to the degree where you're sacrificing your worth or your, not to the degree where you're, really causing more pain than you're solving a problem. But there is this call here to be flexible, open, and adaptive to your environment. All right. Now, as your final outcome card here, we have the Eight of Swords. All right, coming in as your final outcome card. This Eight of Swords is all about feeling trapped, feeling like you can't get out, like there's no options that you have. All right, and I'm drawn back to the overriding energy here. Take a look at both of the individuals on this card. They're both blindfolded, so there are some unknowns that Taurus is dealing with. And I'm also picking up the blue energy on both of these cards, as well as the fact that they're both swords energy. So there's a connection here between perhaps this decision that you need to make that you don't have, that you may not have all of the pieces to. There's some sort of connection to this sense of feeling trapped by your circumstance. Now, this card also summarizes your last three cards. So we have that your outlook, your current outlook, where we drew out the Death card there. There is the potential for you to really have some clarity and some peace there in your thoughts if you're able to be flexible and adaptable. Taking this advice from those three cards will help to alleviate this sense of feeling that you're somehow trapped in your circumstance, and to be more open and more receptive of what's happening around you. In other words, to not resist whatever situation you're currently in. Of course, we always want to do whatever's in front of us to do that we feel peaceful and compelled to do. This is not advocating for non-action, but in many instances, non-action is exactly the action that needs to be taken. There's this need to pull back the reins a bit and allow the situation to continue to unfold, and trust that your best and highest good is always being considered by higher power. All right, Taurus. So that does conclude the main portion of your reading. And let's go ahead now and take a look at your guidance card for the month of November. All right, so this particular deck, Doreen Virtue's deck, is actually my oldest deck. And I've had this deck probably 10 years. I've come to a place with this particular deck where the angels will always let me know what card is best for whatever I'm reading at the moment. And I trust that today will be no different. So I call upon the archangels to give us a card to assist Taurus. There we go. All right. So that's how that works with this particular deck. Let's take a look at what you drew, Taurus. You drew Archangel Sandalphon. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environment. And take a look at Archangel Sandalphon. Doesn't he just, the look on his face just instantly put you in a very gentle and peaceful place? I mean, it just doesn't get any more gentle than this particular picture here. Very compassionate eyes. And the artist on this drawing did a fabulous, phenomenal job of capturing a sense of gentleness and compassion with this rendering. So again, I'm actually drawn back to your Eight of Swords, this sense that you're feeling trapped, that you're not able, or it's not possible for whatever reason for you to move beyond this sense of trappedness or this sense of feeling trapped. Again, call on Archangel Sandalphon to assist you with being gentle with yourself and others. I really feel that this is going to be beneficial, a beneficial tool for the sign of Taurus in the month of November. All right, so that does conclude your reading for the month of November. I'd like to wish you all a very pleasant holiday season, and I will see you back here in December. Namaste.